Yay. Look, I have eyebrows because I had to leave the house. Right. So, watched The Platform. I even have its original Spanish title on there. Yeah, so I watched The Platform. That came out fucking March. That came out like right around, of course, every time I'm recording, someone in their fucking car. That came out right around when things were just shutting down. Shut the fuck up, I'm joking! Oh, anyway, it was seriously radio silence outside. But anyway, the shit came out just as shit was going down, and I've said it before, like Netflix, like movies that come out on streaming services, I usually tend to like take forever on, or like it again the end of the year stuff, because it's like it's on the platform, you know, like exclusive or whatever shit. So I was like, oh, I don't have to worry about it, you know, being taken off. So I usually take forever on it, but since again, what else are we gonna do, you know, in all this shit? Anyway, I also heard a lot of like really, really positive things on it, and then the film blogs that I follow had like some amazing, you know, screenshots of this. So I put it on, and initially I didn't even realize it was like foreign language. Foreign language. That sounds so fucking. That's so American. It's foreign language. It's non-English. You cuck. Fucking sorry, but oh my god. Anyway, so I'm just all over the place today. So, anywho, yeah, I didn't know this was in, this was from Spain and all that stuff. So, um, yeah, when I played the movie, I was just kind of like, wait a second. You know when you like, you start looking at like, the title credits and you're looking at the names, you're like, wait a second. I don't see John Smith, this, what, you know, anyway, yes, phone. Suddenly got notifications out of nowhere. Jesus. Anyway, The Platform, as we're trying to talk about this whole time, I really enjoyed it. It's one of those like, it's one of those movies that are like artsy and makes you think, but like really, it's. God, I'm gonna keep doing this about just comparing it to other movies, but this has like a feel like Cube, God, there was like another movie this made me think of, but definitely Cube is one of them because you're in a place and you want to get out, you know. So the platform is it's a prison. It's like a vertical prison, and there's multiple levels, two people per room kind of stuff, and the platform is, you know, this platform of just food, and it goes from the top to the bottom, you know, and just that's the basis of the story, and very much like immediately just by that simple synopsis you already can see. I don't even want to, it's not even symbolism because it's blatantly right there, like they're talking about greed and classism and all that stuff, because obviously if you have this thing, haha, trickle down effect, you know, like this platform that is the size of like a bed, it's just covered in food, tons of food, like cakes and chicken, lobsters, like all like that, you know, high-end fucking zhuzh, you know? And it's coming down, and then by the time you're like, you know, when the main character wakes up, he's on like 40-something, you know, level 40-something. And then there's some stuff, like, oh, there's some, you know? So you're like literally getting scraps. So a lot of this movie is about that, which is very, like, you know, current in this shit, you know, with the, because we know, one, trickle down economics does not fucking work no matter what fucking people say, and two, it's literally makes like it's the thing of like you know, like people always say never punch down, because it's like sometimes, you know, you can see the other couple other, you know, like floors, and sometimes it's like, oh, I'm gonna yell at you down there because you're beneath me kind of thing, and it's like that's okay. And then even yelling above like that, like just one step above, like, again, what does that really solve, you know? Of course, like, later I'll go into a little bit more spoilers to kind of go more into it, but it's pretty much that. It's like they're trying to, like, escape this prison. Also in this prison, like, monthly you switch floors. So it's not like I'm on floor 8, I'm fucking good. I got like a 6-month like sentence. I'm good. I'm good. There's always fucking cake and ice cream. No, no, no. Every month you get switched to a new spot. So if you could start off on floor 1 and you're like, ah, la, 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 food. And then suddenly next month, you're on like floor 200. Yeah, there's a shit ton of floors, on this thing. And then you're like, like there's running water. You can have water, but and that's the thing. It's like the human body, obviously you can't survive without water. That's the most important thing. But like, actually, I'm making it seem like you can survive like without food, but you can survive with water. No, that's not what I mean. It's like, but 30 days is the max you can survive without actual food, which is why they like monthly periodically switch you up, so you might get you'll get food sometimes, that kind of shit. And when you get like, and that's the thing, if you're like up there, obviously no one's rationing it out because you're like, well, fuck them, I'm up here again, just the economy. And then when you're on the lower, is it Masami? It's Masami. I was like, I knew it. Well, who else? I have 2 friends. Anyway, so there's that, and then it's if you're on like a lower level, like even on like level like 75 or something, and you're getting literally scraps, you're gonna grab whatever you can, and then it's the human greed thing of like, if you're on that shitty level, but then next month you're on again, like if you're on even level 10, you're like, well, fuck those people because they didn't give me anything before, so I'm not giving anyone anything, and it's that mentality. And again, it's very much like human greed and shitty economics that we have and all that stuff. And so me, as someone who's like very much into politics and all that stuff, like I was watching that and I was like, like in a good way. I was like, like one, they were being very blatant about it. Like there was none of this like, oh, I guess this is what it means. No, this was very much, what's his name, Neil something, the guy, the South African director guy who did District 9 and fucking Chappie and stuff, where like, but it's not heavy-handed like he does. He's just more like, right? And I'm like, okay, you're a white South African, maybe you want to sell it down on talking about racism, sir, like, anyway, but it was like that kind of stuff. Like I said, I enjoyed it because I'm that kind of person, like political, I guess, that the overtone, that's the word I was looking for. That stuff aside, the story itself is really good. Like I said, it makes me think of like Cube, where they're just trying to figure out how to get out of this thing, Whereas in the Cube, even in the Cube series, like no one, well, again, in the later, let's just say the first Cube. I'm not gonna go into the other 2, but with like the first Cube, it's like they all just like end up there. They wake up and then they end up there and they have to figure out, all that stuff. If you haven't seen Cube, my God, but then here, it's like, they all know why, in a sense, why they're there. Also, every person is allowed to, like, take an item. So our main character, he has a book with him. And, like, again, I'll go into spoilers and mention, like, some of the other items you see other people with. But, like, it's kind of interesting, that, like, you're in a shitty prison, but you're allowed to bring anything. And really anything. But, yeah, I'm gonna go into spoilers. 1, 2, 3, spoilers. So... yeah, so his roommate, his item is a knife. It's like a super sharp, like, kitchen knife that, like, gets sharper when you use it. So it's like, like, oh my God, like, this one lady, she has a dog, and then later in the movie you saw someone has like a violin, which I get, and then like someone, like one dude had like a rope, which is fine, but someone had like a fucking surfboard. I was fucking cracking up when it got to like, one of the floors, and I was like, does that person, you bought a surfboard into prison? You're gonna be in prison for however long, and you're allowed to bring an item, like a surfboard, bruh? Like, oh, okay, whatever, maybe, nah, I don't know. But yeah, so there's like this, like, I don't want to say secondary plot, but there's like this other story where there's a woman who, like, like every month, like, you know, she'll just hop on the platform and go down and like look for her child and all that stuff. And I'm guessing like, you know, she obviously doesn't make it there, you know, not make it there. I mean, like, make it to every floor because she never finds like her kid. And then like towards the end of the film, like, you find that the kid is at the very flat. There is a kid. Like, people kept saying like, oh, that's the one with the kid. And then this one woman was like, oh, no, like, no, she doesn't have any family. Like, there isn't a kid. But turns out, no, there really is a kid. One of those kind of things. And, you know, well, because also that person was like, yeah, no one under the age of 16, you know, is in here. So you can think about it, there are like 17 and 18-year-olds in there, just, I guess, just for the buckets. You don't really see anyone that young anyway, but, you know, so yeah, like, it was really interesting to see that, wow, like, turns out there really is a child. That woman really isn't crazy, per se. Also, that there's like 333 floors. You're doing like this half of 666 kind of shit. And you're like, okay, we're going with this, you know? And also in that last floor, there's only one bed, I realize. Or maybe was there another one? I just noticed the one bed because the child was hiding underneath it. But anyway, does that really matter? What else was I going to say? Oh, and the whole thing with the child is like the key and all that stuff. And it's... that gets kind of a little like YA novel, you know, kind of turn into movie thing where like, although it's like, I don't want to like shit on it because it's kind of true, because Greta Thunberg exists, you know, the whole like a child is going to lead a movement kind of stuff or change something. And sometimes I'm kind of like, in the YA world, it is a little like ridiculous because it's like, really? But then in like real world, you're like, oh, and then you're thinking about like the Parkland kid. You're like, oh, all right, these young teens really are making a difference. You're like, oh shit. Again, you know, this economy. But anyway, so like I said, like it's kind of like a weird movie, but like I'm obviously all for weird movies, and I'm all for like kind of artsy, like bottle kind of movies. What's the other words I was gonna say? Like at the end when like it goes below, you know, the last floor, and then like the guy and his like, and then it like shoots all the way up to the top, you know, which is funny because like someone on Letterboxd said exactly what I thought, which was they put the kid on the platform and it shoots up to the top. What you want to happen is that, you know, people who are probably the ones who, like, clean up the platform and then the next day put the new food on it are going to see the kid and be like, how the fuck is there a kid here? And then, like, I don't know, shut down the prison or blah, 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 like, whatever you want, like whatever the revolution or whatever the positive that comes out of this. And, like, you know, like, that's what the movie wants you to think. But for me, as a cynical asshole, when it was shooting up like that, all I was thinking is that it's not going to, like, get to like the top and go like that. It's gonna go and just smack all the way. Like, it's just gonna be this platform and go up like the last floor and go whack and the kid's like crap, and then it floats down, and then it'll just be squash child, you know. So that had me laughing because I was thinking that when it was like like going all the way out, I think it's gonna stop, and it's just that kid's gonna die. But yeah, like I said, I like this movie. I really do. I'm glad I haven't hit any really awful ones. But soon, I had to look up what stuff came out this year that are like, you know, obviously available to rent. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot more like January horror dumps. Also, some February horror dumps too. So I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Let's see how those go. But anyway, yeah, that was The Platform. Again, I really liked it. I really do. Yeah, in this economy, I don't know what else to say.